Hey butterflies. Hey butterflies. Hey butterflies. I hope you are doing well on today. Welcome back to Evolving Butterfly Goddess with me, Doctress Nicole. Here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, our money, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. I want to thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and your subscribes here on the channel. And shout out to the members. Thank you for your donations, cash apps, super chats, and members of the Butterfly Effect School of Transformation. And so, y'all, this energy. So I was doing some work and I have to get ready to go to the gym. Then a little datey date. And so this message came to me and I said, okay, yeah, the collective needs to hear this because I've been channeling different messages that I was sharing in the membership area with the members. And this message felt like a collective energy that needed to be shared. And it was a strong energy of the generational curse has been broken. There's a generational curse that you have broken. It's broken. It is broken. It is broken. It is broken. And this is something that I got strongly that it went through your mother's lineage. So this is a curse that was placed within your bloodline through your mother's lineage, your mother's side of the family. Okay. And those whose message this is for, your mother's side of the family oftentimes seem to have like mixed match relationships. They're unfulfilled in their careers. They could be very dominant, very, dominant women to the point where it's like a toxic dominant. You get what I'm saying? These were all spells that were placed upon your bloodline, and it was generically engineered, is what I'm hearing. Generically engineered. It was engineered to be this way. It was engineered to happen this way. Like within the system, it was programmed to be this way. But you broke the program. You broke the program. And it makes me think about the aspect of you being the glitch in the system, right? But you broke the program. And with you breaking the program, you broke the spell. With you breaking the program, you broke the spell. And the spell, when I was speaking with Spirit, I was like, what was the spell? And Spirit said it was a multiple amount of spells, but the main one was what was put upon was that may no one hear truth and knowledge. So there was a spell of ignorance placed on your bloodline. There was a spell of lack of knowledge, lack of information. They weren't able to hear knowledge. They weren't able to hear the truth. Okay. You broke it because you chose a path that was different from the norm. And because you chose a path that was different from the norm, it's like you broke out of the cycle of what was created for you, what was premeditated for you. Because it's given a vibe of like a lot of the roles were like premeditated, but you switched something, you got out of something. You were once a part of it. It was like a butterfly effect happened for you. You went somewhere, got introduced to something or someone, and it's like something clicked inside of you and you couldn't go back. Because it was supposed to be you. I just heard 2,000 years. So this could be an energy that was placed on your bloodline for 2,000 years. And so the time is up. Is that what it is, Spirit? Yes. So the time was up on this spell that was placed on your bloodline. And that's why you feel like you just stand out. You're not like anyone else in the family. You're interested in things that are much different. You're doing things that's much different. You're literally the outlier in the family. And it was supposed to be that. You're the first, I just heard the first free descendant. You are the first free descendant. Spirit, what do you mean by that? Not I asked Spirit, what does Spirit mean by it? Spirit said what I said. You're the first free descendant. So you're the first one in your bloodline within the last 2,000 years to have a sense of a broad sense of freedom. Your obstacles are not really as real as they appear to be. You can get through these obstacles. You can get out of these obstacles. You don't need to be a martyr for anything. You know, your ancestors before you were the martyrs. They were the ones who, you know, examples were made out of them. Okay. I'm hearing you don't need to behave like that. And that's why you get a lot of like ancestor connections, ancestral connections. Um, you feel connected to the ancestral realm very, very deeply. It's because they all know that you are the one. Like, you are the first one within the lineage that was placed upon your family for whatever reason, because right now there's a shift of universal power that's happening. There's a shift of universal energy and power. And in that, those on a particular frequency, that a particular wavelength, they are the ones that's like guiding. So for example, it makes me think about the Bible story. Moses was not able to make it into the promised land. It was his successor. And although, you know, they went through the wilderness traveling for 400 years, one of them, they were not allowed to enter into the promised land. You are giving the vibe that you and those after you will experience the promised land in your lifetime. So much was changed and rearranged to where your family was not, they weren't truly given the full truth to go off of. They created lives based off of what they came to know to be true from the information they were given and the information that they were able to digest. But if your stomach is not big enough to digest a big meal, you're not going to be able to take it in. And that's what was happening. You're the first generation that is able to digest large meals, which means basically knowledge and information. Don't take that for granted. Don't take that for granted. And it doesn't mean to treat your family members any different either, like, oh, I'm superior of you. It's a sense of coming to peace and understanding them and where they're at and how they view reality in life, right? We can't change anyone. We can give them information, we can give them guidance, we can give, you know, support to the level of our boundaries. But outside of that, they have to want certain things for themselves. They have to put their work in the same way you had to put your work in. Okay. So have that understanding for where people are and know that it's not your responsibility. But that doesn't mean that you have to fully give up on them, because remember, everyone is a mirror of us. Okay. but it doesn't mean that you have to fully give up on them or that relationship because of your roles in the relationship. Unless your higher self and the higher power tells you so, then that's different. But your first thing doesn't have to be to go to, cutting off if that's not what your higher self is saying. Always make sure it's your higher self speaking and not your lower self. Spirit, anything else? The thing is that the reason why it's hard for you is because no one else before you did this. Those around you, no one else around you did this. And that's why we need spaces. Like, that's why I created the Butterfly Effect School of Transformation, so that we would have that place of gathering, right? But many people, they find that in their sectors and their spaces, they don't have too many other people to be able to converse with 1111 with on that journey and in that process. You get what I'm saying? And that's what makes it even harder. It makes the isolation phase harder. So that's why it is important to, get out, meet people, get into your hobbies and things of that nature. Have a life outside of your spiritual self and the spiritual work and healing. Have a life of enjoyment also outside of everything else. Okay. But understanding that this path and where it's leading you, I'm hearing, is leading you to a space of more control, because you're going to really start to see your role in the amazingness of a lot of things. You weren't really giving yourself a lot of credit in things like you should have, because you would always downplay or feel like you wasn't doing enough, or there's more out there to celebrate, where it's just like, no one else is doing this like you. No one is doing it like you. So one of the generational curses that you've broke and you're starting to live out right now is the sense of you've been obtaining knowledge. You've not only been obtaining it, you've been digesting it. Okay? You've been digesting it and letting it flow through your system in a healthy way. And because of that, that is an increase for you. Like, it helps you. It helps you. Baby, these cardinals are outside. Do you hear me? So I got a cute little video of them. I might post it as a short on my other channel. But these babies, they was sitting in the tree, and it was like she was trying to get away from him or something, because he just kept trying to like inch closer and closer to her. And she just kept trying to like, but they were so cute, like within the lovey-dovey part. Because one thing about cardinals, the male cardinal is not gonna be too far from the female cardinal. Okay, they're gonna be right there with each other. The geese were fighting earlier. The geese were fighting earlier in the water. I got a video of it. Um, I wonder if you all will be able to see it with the what's the name? But a big message that came from it. Ooh, I don't like when ants be crawling on me. A big message that came from it, though, was the sense. Dang, it's gonna be hard to see it from the thing. I tried to share it inside of Discord. It'll go okay. Let me see if I can zoom in. Hold on. They in the water just the fighting. Okay. I'm trying to catch them from all angles. Okay. Water just a splashing. Oh, you couldn't see it because I had it moving, but baby, they was bucking. Do you hear me? Bucking. And it made me think about how, because we always say like geese are like the toxic ones a lot of times, but it made me think of the sense of you are not in the way of a lot of things that life is going to be bringing to some people. Okay. You're not in the way of that destruction. And that's a good thing. So, whatever you are doing right now, make sure you are staying hopeful and make sure you know that you are in alignment with your highest self. You will be good. You will be taken care of. Okay. You will be good and you will be taken care of. You will be taken care of. And that's a part of your magic with everything of what's happening right now in the world. That's a part of your magic with everything of what's happening right now in the world. Your ability to keep that level of peace and calm in the middle of storms and etc. is what's going to get you through that nighttime energy. You get what I'm saying? God is within you. You cannot fail. You're on a mission. And when you've been given a mission, you gonna have everything that you need for that to succeed. Nothing can get in the way of that. You're gonna be given all the second wins that you need to keep going when it seems like it's the hardest. You're gonna be getting the motivation at the perfect time, the love, the support. Everything always happens in alignment with how you need. So allow the element of surprise to take over your life right now as you allow yourself to connect with this next phase of life, this next stage. Because baby, you doing some things and it's beautiful. Keep it up. Okay. Keep it up. But that's the energy, y'all. That's the energy. I thank y'all for being here. And as always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. I'll see y'all in the next one. I know this kind of feels shortened. I still got to go back and do a second part of the other video. Child, it be so many messages that come to me, y'all, every day. If I had time, I literally would just be talking all day. I will be talking and channeling all day. Which y'all watch if I channel 5 videos a day. Like for real. Because I be having all types of messages that come to me and I just be like, so I just find myself talking to myself or like I'll text a friend or something. But baby, if y'all want them messages all day, I will definitely give them to y'all, okay? Because they be churning through the head. But I love y'all. And as always, I don't know if I said already, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. As always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.